Star Wars, talking Star Wars. Oh, I love Star Wars, 'cause it's so cool.
Yes. Or are we going to start?
Yes! Welcome back to the Superfan Show. I'm William.
I'm the Grendel.
And if you saw Clickbait released a video, I think it was a couple weeks ago, where he really took a giant dump on Disney Star Wars, and he brought up some issues that Grendel thought was fascinating to talk about.
Yes. With it was Oscar Isaacs making the comments that this film will mark the end of the Skywalker legacy.
Which I thought that was kind of a huge spoiler, because I didn't know that. Does that mean Kylo Ren's gonna die? I mean, I was so confused. Like, why is Oscar Isaac running around talking about this? And Mark Hamill's interview that he released was, I guess it was really giving the nod towards the old school Star Wars fans that had a problem with Star Wars, and I could understand that. But anyways, talking about the Skywalker family, so that just kind of brought up a thought to your mind about the Skywalker family, period.
Exactly. The what is the legacy of the Skywalkers? Now
Skywalker saving the day.
Now that everything has been condensed to just the movies, I think the Clone Wars and Rebels are now part of canon.
Yep.
And any books that are licensed tying into these movies,
Which some do
now
better
that
than others.
so much more has been pushed away into the Star Wars Legends territory, what is the legacy of the Skywalkers?
Luke Skywalker, Princess
Taking
Leia.
in the original films, the
Anakin
prequels,
Skywalker.
and the newest shitstorm of movies. What will be the memory of the Skywalkers? And the answer is, it is a legacy of failure. The Skywalkers are failures.
Not Luke Skywalker.
He is the biggest failure. I'll get to that in a moment. I think that the final movie will basically point out that the galaxy would have been a better place if the Skywalkers had never existed in the first place. Let's go back to the prequels. Anakin just sort of appears in Shmi's womb, which I always found it weird that a Jewish guy did a Jesus allegory, but we'll leave that alone for right now.
I thought it was because, like, Darth Plagueis created life and he created Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, but they never out and say that, so as far as we know, he just fucking pops in there. Anyway, so Anakin grows up, he joins Palpatine, and case could be made that Palpatine wouldn't have been able to dominate the galaxy without Anakin Skywalker.
Well, he only joined, though, because Obi-Wan didn't treat him all that great, and then they wanted him to spy on his friend, and he didn't want to betray his friend, and he thought that the Jedis were acting a little bit shady.
I don't give a shit about his motivations, I'm just saying what happened. That's it. He joins. And then you got Luke, who grows up, who's also, in a way, an abomination because his father shouldn't exist, so Luke's very existence is unnatural.
What about Padme Amidala?
Yeah, and I know he had a mother, but I'm saying his father shouldn't exist. His father's an anomaly. He just shows up. Anyway, Luke grows up, he defeats Vader, turns Vader back to the light side. Everything seems fine. But now
Luke.
and had it ended on this note, the Skywalker legacy is a very positive, triumphant story.
Anakin turning, he chose the right decision after all.
That's what I just said. It would have been a positive ending, but now you've got these new movies. And we see Luke in The Last Jedi, a broken down, beaten man and I understand why he is. When I first saw the film, I didn't get why he's broken, but it's because he looks into his nephew, Ben Solo, and he sees nothing. He sees a void. He sees an evil human being. Basically, he realized that his family is failure. His family is the dark side because the only offspring that either Luke or Leia produced is a hollow shell of a fuck. And so that's why Luke ends up on that island. Then he FedExes himself to face Ben, a hologram of himself, and then he dies. And that's it. So if they're going to end the Skywalker line in episode 9, I personally don't give a shit. Because these new movies have taken that positive ending in Return of the Jedi and they have turned it into a legacy of failure. Luke is a failure, his father's a failure, his nephew's a failure.
How can you say Anakin Skywalker's a failure when he's the one that destroyed the Emperor in the first place? Something that Yoda couldn't do.
But what does it add up to in the end? Nothing. He accomplished nothing.
What if his grandson, though, what if Luke was wrong and Ben Solo ends up saving the day somehow and gives up his life to save people? What if that's what happens? Are they still failures?
That's not what's going to happen.
Well, that's what I think's going to happen. It's like Return of the Jedi. I mean, come on. That's what they... Like, Force Awakens did things like Star Wars. The Last Jedi did things like Empire Strikes Back. So there's only one real bad guy in this movie, and I think he's going to turn to the good side. Rey saw it. That's why she went to save him.
Rey's a fucking idiot. That's why she went to save him.
I just don't think you like women lead characters in movies.
I love women lead characters in movies. I hate Rey.
Why?
Rey's not a character. Rey is a caricature. That's it.
Sorry,
Rey
you stutter?
No, she's a caricature.
Caricature.
You know, like when that artist draws that big-headed, unrealistic version of yourself?
Oh.
That's what Rey is. She's an unrealistic version of a protagonist. She has no personality, no struggle. She's basically good at everything she tries.
She did have a struggle. Her struggle is her identity. Where do I come from? Where do I belong?
Oh, and how'd that end up? Didn't fucking matter.
It does matter. He lied. There's so much. You're going to eat so much crow. Once the next episode 9 comes out, you are going to
Episode 9,
away.
subtitle, Pissing on Luke's Grave.